because we can't have the trolls. Not doing trolls today, right? Oh, yeah. How's everybody's weather? We're supposed to get a storm here again. I'm kind of over all of this weather. I don't know about y'all, but it's supposed to get chilly again for some reason. I don't know why. So, all right. So we got the YouTube going. What I found when I was digging around in the basement, found another fairy lamp bottom. So I have this bottom, and then I have a Fenton Santa Amberina top that I need to list. I tried finding the bottom to it, and it's a harder to find one, but the tops alone sell well. I have been moving. Hey, Barb. I have been moving quite a few of my fairy lamps. So I got more. Hey, Deb. Hey, Penny Sue. Penny Sue, we're supposed to get storms again. I'm tired of this weather. I'm ready for just some peace. Hey, lady. So I know it's gonna cool off again. It's just, I always forget how spring is in the Midwest. It's one day it's in the 80s, next day you're in the 40s, And then my boss just announced he's retiring. So I had my one-on-one with him this morning, which he proceeded to talk to me about how he's planning a luau in his community. He lives in Walla Walla, Washington. He's from Hawaii, has family in Hawaii, goes to Hawaii quite a bit, but he's doing an authentic luau for their village over in Washington, like full pig in the ground, all that stuff. I was just like, shut up. I don't like you right now because you're leaving me here. Oh, Lord. No, excited for him. Super jelly. But so I spent a lot of time in the basement a few days ago. My youngest daughter is helping me organize in the basement. So depending on, how it goes with this, we might go down to the basement and talk about stuff I'm finding. Maybe what the next show should be. I found more paperweights. I found a lot more paperweights. And that's one of the things that I've been working on, is kind of consolidating the image, or like organizing it more by kitchen related items, toy related items, versus what I had down there were like just tubs of glass and tubs of pottery, trying to kind of get some semblance of thought to that. But in the process, discovering we could probably do a whole sale on that. So, I did price. Hey, Beth. Hey, Beth, I need you and Jess loose in my basement. It would be organized in no time. Jess actually had some really good ideas, actually helped get some flow going. It's not completely done. I mean, let's be honest. That would be, a miracle. But it is certainly easier for me to move around and down there. She, is kind of basically, setting goals to focus on things, because, I get involved with something and then I come across it and I start squirreling, like, finding more fairy lamps. So I did a little bit of mix. I did price some of the celluloid brooches. Then I also pulled some items that I thought I'll bring here first before I start cross-posting them in other places. I'll offer them to you first off. And if we whip through that, then we'll go down to the basement. What do y'all think about that? So I did put everything in the auction. So I will start holding some stuff up. And if it's something that you want, Ron. Oh, thank you, Rachel. Thank you. I love this haircut. I know my hairdresser, bless his heart, his name's Jesus. He's probably sick of cutting the same cut on me, but it works. Like, it is super low maintenance. It's just basically, a bob, and I just get it layered up, like stacked in the back. In fact, it's about time for a haircut. But, my kids get super annoyed because they'll try to mess with my hair, and they're like, this is no fun. I'm like, what do you mean? They said, because it just goes back to the way it looked. Doesn't even look like it got messed up. I'm like, that's a good haircut. And it's just easy to take care of. So, anywho, so I did, like I said, I did start pricing this celluloid jewelry. So I will start bringing those up, and if you see a piece that you're interested in, we will go ahead and run it. I haven't priced all of it because I didn't want the whole session to be pretty much, what we did last time, but we'll start moving through it, because once I list it, the price will change a bit because I will be cross-posting to other platforms. So I do have this Speedle watch box. That one, let's see, let me find it. So this is the celluloid Speedle watch box. It's in fabulous condition. So if you have a vintage watch to lay in there, it would make for a gorgeous display. So this one I am asking $20. I did comp these, so I am bringing them lower than the comps that are out there. This one, there are a few different like sayings. Like this one is the Golden Templar, but you'll find some other Speedle ones out there that have a different, I'm guessing maybe it was the watch name. I'm not really sure. But, if you have any kind of Victorian display, this would be a gorgeous piece, even if you don't have a watch for display in there. I just think the graphics on this are so good, and there's no chips or cracks. These celluloid boxes are super fragile. As far as a lot of times they are broken. So, but I thought I would give y'all first dibs. I have always kind of done it as Speedle. My dad loved to get the Speedle watches. That used to be the only kind of watch he would buy. So I don't know. It could be. That's what I grew up with. So I don't know. Tomato, tomato, right? All right. The next one I did price was this little hand tinted celluloid little mums and a rose. So it's like a chrysanthemum in your little rose. Still has its original pin back on it. So that one is going to start at 28. And like I said, I'll just run through these real quick and then I'll move on to the other stuff in case anybody was interested. And if there was one that you were specifically interested in that I showed last week, let me know and I can move up that listing. It was just a lot to actually get through. So that's why I haven't priced all of them. So next one is the celluloid fruit basket brooch. So I did on the price take into account the paint loss and the fact that the back had been replaced. But even the ones without paint go for quite a bit more. This is a more harder to find one out there. So I am starting this one at 16. And again, if you look back at last week's show, we went over all the history of the celluloid pieces, different pieces that they came in, what was considered celluloid, what was not considered celluloid, because you will find out there on listings, people will list plastics in general as celluloid, and they're not. There is a difference. So hopefully our lighting doesn't get too bad. If the lighting gets to be a problem, let me know, because we do have some cloudiness coming in. Next up was this large, just about 2 inches, little hand tinted celluloid rose with, I don't know, some sort of daisies or something in the background of it. It still has its original pin back, so it's in really, really good shape. So this one is going to start at 38. These do, I'll be super honest with you, these do tend to price out high, but like I said, I did lower my asking to bring them here for you on Vamp first. So this one is running at 38. I just love the detail on this. And I like the watercolor approach rather than, in your face approach to the, the coloring. I just think that is so pretty. All right, next up, we will run, let's see. We'll run the yellow rose. So this one is a yellow rose with the greenery. The pin back has been replaced, but it is still an older pin. This one is a Japan one. Some of the ones I had were occupied Japan, so I will be notating if they are occupied Japan as we start going through these. but this is a gorgeous, gorgeous piece. Some of the ones I have are much harder to find. So this one is going to start at 28 and we are running it. And if you're over on YouTube and you see something that you're interested in, please join us over on virtualantiquemarketplace.com. We would love to have you over here. It is, Barb, this is the colors. It's so vibrant. Thank you very much. You're going to love this one. They're in such good shape. I mean, all of these came out of one lady's collection, was my understanding. And I feel very lucky to have the privilege of getting some of these. All right. Next up, we're going to do this set. Yeah, I know. My dad loved any color flower but white. He hated white flowers, and I always thought that was so funny because, we do the gardenias, and they're white. And he was like, that's the only white flower you're allowed to have. Everything else has to be color, 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 color. So for my mom, I started doing what my husband would do for me. For every birthday or anniversary, I would get her something to plant in the yard because, flowers die. But my dad had a thing for amaryllises. So every year I get her a different amaryllises, or I get an azalea, a different color azalea to plant in her yard to memorize that. And I think I've even done the bromeliads because those go pretty well in her yard. Alrighty, next up we have this pair of celluloid screwback earrings, and these I am asking 18 on. They're in excellent shape. I don't think they were ever even worn. There's no wear whatsoever on the backs of them. I just thought they were pretty. Again, you just have that watercolor effect to them. So these are going to start at 18 and these are running. Yeah, Barbara, my dad started getting into orchids before he passed. And so a year after he died, his orchid bloomed for the first time that whole year. So that was, just kind of gave me chills when that happened. So we just felt, that it was a message that he was still with us, still watching. And honestly, it gets my mom out in the yard. It gives her something to do, So, and she still takes care of her own yard. She still cuts her own grass. She turned 75 this year. I've been like, why don't you hire somebody? And she's like, no, I need a reason to get up in the morning. Yep, exactly. All right. The next pair of screwbacks, let me bring that one to stage. Let me find that one. Yeah, I have that one. Oh, I've already got them on stage. Jeez Louise. All right. So, another pair of screwbacks. This one, the coloring is a little bit better in this one. So, you got your chrysanthemums. Again, the backs, I don't think they were ever worn again. Bye. And we're going to start the auction. Oh, yeah. Fortunately, I I respond to the pills, and I only get a few a year, so I've been able to just go with the pill form. Good luck. We're going to start the auction. These are going for $18 as well. Oops, sorry. That's probably really loud. It was right under. So, but yeah, these are in beautiful shape. All right. And like I said, I will be moving all of these over to the buy it now. I'll run them, you know, like I said, at a lower price during our lives before I move them. Let's see. Then we do have a sure. It's looking for seeing it. Okay. I will pull this one in. So, oh, well, yeah, I mean, I would think they can do that because, you know, don't they inject up there somewhere for those? Because it's the same formula, right? Next up, we have this blue chrysanthemum dress clip. This color is harder to find. That's why it is priced the way it is. It's in really good shape. And even though it's a single, they still, like I said, that is below the comp price because it is the color that is so hard to find. So this one is going to start at $42. There aren't many of them available out there. So you get more like these. This color is the more common, but the blue, the red, and the greens are very hard to find, like the solids. Next up, we will run the maybe we did not have that one in there. Okay. All right. Next stage. So this one, we have the ship. This is the clipper, schooner, whatever you want to call it. The coloring I absolutely love. Again, it's that watercolor. Has its original pin back. You can see the striations where we talked about last week, where this was developed as the poor man's ivory. So I can't believe this thing didn't get broke. I mean, look how all these little carvings on it. So the white flower, yeah, I was looking for it because it wasn't in the listing. So if you want, I can run this just on the fly. So I'll go ahead and run this. But if you want this dress clip, I can run it as well. Alrighty. So for the ship or for the dress clip? So this dress clip, I can start at 12 if you're interested in that. Okay, all right. So our ship, this one starts at 50. So we're going to start him. Like I said, he's in amazing condition. His colors are just, I think, just perfect. Just enough brown and green into the sea. I just think if you have any kind of like nautical display, it would be absolutely gorgeous in it. Alrighty. Thank you very much for looking at these, y'all. I do appreciate it. So let's get this one, because I thought I had done it, but I did not. Let's see. Why is that not? Not. All right, come on. Why that's doing that. All right. Where is it looking at? There we go. I don't know. I don't know what that was doing. That was kind of weird. Change that. Sorry about that. I think that was just weird. All right. Thank you for your patience. All right. So we're going to start the auction on this rose dress clip. This one is made in Japan. It's in really good condition. No chips or cracks to it. And it is running for $12. I appreciate your bids. I think that is just so pretty. I have really enjoyed looking at this collection and getting more familiar with it. Alrighty, that one is coming to you. Thank you very much. Okay, so I think that is all I had in for the celluloid pieces. So we will look at, actually, we had the little celluloid dogs and cat. Was anybody interested in me running the little celluloid figures? I think I had them going at, let's see, they were going to be a choice starting at $8. We had the little bulldog, and then we had the little cat, and then we had the little terrier. And these are all little celluloid Japan critters. So if anybody is interested, we can run these. Yeah, they are. They're really, really cute. And they're really detailed. I mean, they are carved. So the detail is crazy on these things. And then that was the little kitty. So I know. So if anybody wants those run, let me know, and I can run those. And then I'll show you some of the other things I pulled. And if you're any of those you want, Ron? Otherwise, after that, we can go to the basement if you would. So I found while I was digging around this little treasure craft souvenir California little butterfly trinket dish. Still has its original price tag on it. They paid $5 originally for this. It is treasure craft. It is in amazing shape. I think that one we priced out at $8. So if anybody is interested in that, then let me know. But I love these colors, the very muted type colors. Those are pretty much my favorite. I also found this little retired DeRosa Rinconada piece. He is 24. If anybody is interested in him, these were the ones that had the 14 karat gold treatment to them. This one, I believe, was the mother. There was a, like, if you bought the different pieces, there would have been a baby one. I think there might have been a third piece. I'm not 100% sure, but it's in amazing condition. No chips, no cracks on it. So we have him. And then also I came across, I have, let's see, how much do I have on it? This Stengel pottery hummingbird. Again, you have the gold. It is 14 karat gold. I had a hard time finding this little guy. So I have him starting out at 12. He is a harder to find little piece. Here's his bottom. No chips or cracks to him. So he is Stengel pottery, like I said. And the reason I was surprised that he wasn't damaged is because Stengel pottery does usually end up being chipped when you find it. Yeah, the only other, I had a really hard time because I was just like kind of arguing with myself because I was like, this is Stengel pottery. I know it's Stengel pottery, but I could not find him. I finally found one that was completely done in gold, but finding the one, like I have found the vases before, but finding him, he was a hard one to find. So, right? Yeah, I know. The fact that he even still has his beak. So we had him. I also, and I forgot I even had this, y'all. It was crazy. I did have this Amy Lacombe. So this one was a 2003. And, you know, if you collect the Amy Combs, none are identical. They're all different pieces. So, and I thought I had sold all my Amy Combs, so I was really surprised when I found this one. So this one is starting out at 24, if anybody is interested in them. Here is his bottom. You can look him up as well if you're interested in him. I know. I love these guys because they're just so derpy looking with their faces. And sometimes when you find them, they're missing like their little ceramic ends to them. But yeah, he is signed. So he's in really good shape. But I thought, well, you know, as I'm processing some of these guys, I thought I will bring them here and see if anybody is interested in them before I list them. And then I am cleaning out some of my owl collection because I want to get my pottery up on the shelf. So I also have this art glass owl. Now, a lot of people will list this as Murano. It's not Murano. I believe this was done like by Pier 1, but he is $14 if anybody is interested in him. He's a beautiful little piece with this ombre brown up to the blue. He looks stunning when you have a little tea light in him. And he's got the little applied owls. And here is his bottom. Yeah, I know. This was a hard one, to let go. But I collect the Weller woodland in particular. And I want to get it on a shelf where I can display it. So that meant something has to go to make that happen. I don't think so. So I knew we had people that liked owls, and I was like, well, I'll bring them and we'll see if anybody is interested in him. But he's in really good shape. You don't have any chips or cracks to him. So we have him. And then I think the last thing that I pulled for today, and then we can go down to the basement, is this Merrill Wolper paperweight. So this is a art glass paperweight with iridescent stem to it. It is a gorgeous, gorgeous piece. It is signed. I was looking, and I did take a picture of the signature because it is super, super hard to find. And I think that's why I got such a good deal on him, is because they couldn't find the signature. But okay, let me move the owl. We'll move the owl to stage. Okay, it is running, but yeah, he's gorgeous. I've had him for a very, very long time. So he was, like I said, hard to let go. I had him on display with my Viking owl fairy lamps. Thank you, Nikki. I appreciate that. But like I said, I have that other pottery, and I've got enough of the pieces that I want to display them. So I was like, you can keep some of the stuff, but I kind of feel like if you don't display it, then it's not you shouldn't have it in a box. You know what I mean? So, all right, but this Wolper pumpkin paperweight. I had a purple one with like a teal stem to it that I sold. So I have this one left, and it is a solid glass. This is considered a paperweight. I'm not sure how well that carnival iridescent fish finish is coming through, but it is absolutely stunning in person. So her piece, there's not a lot of her pieces out there. So before I cross-post it, I wanted to bring it here to see if anybody was interested in it. It is, like I said, it's solid. It is a solid piece of glass. So this is starting at $30 on this one. No chips, no cracks. It is signed again. I don't know if she is still doing any paperweights because I can't find any information on her per se. I The last thing I was able to find was that her pieces could be found in the Toledo Art Museum. But, most artists, you can find a profile on them, and I couldn't find anything on her. So, all right. Do y'all want to go down to the basement to see what's been going on down there? Because we can go down there. So, all right. Well, let's go, and I'll show you some progress. We're going to be in for a ride. Let's see. I'll close this because I don't want Mr. Kitty running across. So, y'all don't know my kitty battles I've been going through. One of my cats has been diagnosed with kidney issues, so he has to be on special food, which he has now decided he doesn't want to eat. So, we're just having some Mexican standoffs with all of that. I think I will put y'all in the bigger stand. I have a floor stand that will probably be easier to put y'all in. So hang on. You're going to go for a little ride. Let me get you in my light box. Let's put you in there. Alrighty. Oh, Nikki, I had to show you something that I found. Lower, y'all are like up in the stratosphere. I have not hauled this yet, but I thought when I found it, I thought about Nikki. Look at this. Oh, it's a little box with a moose on it. And it's got these those little pins in them. How cute is that? So I thought about Nikki when I found it. I was like, it's a moose. My mom's like, why are you so excited over a moose? I said, because I know somebody who likes moose. So, all right. Now, behind me is still chaos. So, believe me, what's in front of us isn't bad compared to what it was. So, I am in the progress of working on all of this. But what we started doing was working over here. And we started focusing more on doing some rows of things. So, trying to make it more walk friendly. So, this row is going to get sorted and put into tubs, but it's only going to be like one row front back so that you have more of a flow going through it. But some of the things I have been, yeah, we did. So, but some of the things we've been working on is like getting all of the golden books, all the books, period, moved around, organized. I told you I found more paperweights, which we did put them over in a box. See, that's how crazy it's been. It's just been like some insanity down here. Because trying to find things, when it was just in big tubs, hasn't been the easiest to deal with. You know, things like these little vintage Japan photo albums. Those have to get organized. I found tubs and tubs of paperweight. So I'm thinking next week we could probably just do a paperweight show, because like I have all the ones upstairs, but I also found all of these as well down here that I didn't even know that I had, because they were in different, you know, different tubs. Look at that one. Look how cool. It's like a little tornado in there. This one, I think, is West Virginia, the West Virginia Glass Company. I have lucite paperweights. I have the stone alabaster ones. I found lucite candles down here that I didn't realize I had down here. We have the whale. No. Oh my gosh. Oh my gosh. We heard some areas got some bad hail. We were supposed to have gotten hail yesterday, and it didn't happen. So look at this frog. The Ravino glass, where it's the multiple colors. Look, he's so cool. I hate that. How about your roof? I mean, your roof probably needs to be looked at. So that is just a nightmare. And we have another apple, iridescent apple. This one was it is signed. Not sure. I have to look at it and see. Hey! So I was thinking that, you know, we could just go through all these little paperweights. Well, hopefully then that's fine. Then if you only have the pea size, then your roof should be okay. And we have a clear. I have several of the lucite ones of various sizes. These were Daisy, the Daisy Company. There's another, I know Daisy's in the name, but I have like the tall ones and these small ones that are in the lucite. I have chenille bedspreads. We have more glass. We have, speaking of organizing, I was just thinking about this paperweight this morning, wondering where I put it. But there's some other, I know there's some other paperweights. But we have this one. So this one, I know there was an artist on this one. This one is Czech Republic, Beranek, Beranek. So we will get those listed for our next show, and I have like a wide variety of those, wide variety of price points, and because I have so many, they're going to be priced to move. I'm just going to tell you that. So we also I have been finding enough of, and I know I have more, but I have started making a bin of like the toothpick holders as I'm coming across them. I know I have quite a few more in there. Got a little chicken. So we've been doing that. We have also been finding all these like dresser kind of items, vanity kind of items. So there's going to be probably a sale just on vanity compacts, jewelry boxes, things of that nature. We have like all these little brass critters that I'm organizing, and dolls. You guys, look at this. Y'all know I don't do dolls, but I found dolls. Just saying. So this is a by Shackman, but it's the little Red Riding Hood doll and the little book, the old stock from '83. Look how cute she is. We have her. I know I have a larger one of these guys. I'm telling you, it's been crazy. So putting all of this stuff in one little place has been really good. Yep, we do. We do have those. Let me see. I have right in here. I have the now frozen Charlottes are the naked ones that don't have movable pieces. These are penny dolls, which people kind of get confused on what's a penny doll versus what's a frozen Charlotte. So we have these little itty bitty penny dolls. Anybody see something that you want to run, you can just run them on the fly. I have, I've been trying to put all the doll stuff in one spot. We have a head. She's seen some things. I'm just saying. And then I have this little itty bitty penny doll. I have body parts, a whole doll, like her whole head, her arms, her torso, her legs, everything in that deal that I came across. We have a Petrushka. Look at her. The little nesting Matrushka doll. And how many pieces does she have in her? 1, 2, 3. She has 3 pieces to her. I thought she was pretty. Yeah, I like this color to her. We have this little little papoose, and she has a little kind of like a luggage tag almost on her. So it says, to say I haven't had time to write sounds like a poor excuse, but that's the truth. And so I'll say hello with this papoose. Hey, Amy. Well, look cute. So I was kind of like, it's a little 2-in-1. You got that little display, and then you got the little doll. So that's her. So I've been, like I said, trying to organize things by subject matter as well, because it makes it a little easier when you're picking things for a sale. I know Misty talked about peg dolls, but this couple, they are made in Japan. These are also Shackman, but they're like 1967. But they're a man and woman. How cute are those? Susan, I can run them on the fly. Because it's what did I say? 3 or 4. How many dolls were in there? 1, 2. So there were 3. I can start it at $8 if you want that. So just let me know. Does that mean run it or thank you? Okay. All right. Let's do this picture. Next. It's going to be I wish they had a better interface to doing these shipping profiles, because I would like to do them like outside of on the fly. I don't like that the only way you can get to them is when you're doing it on the fly like this. So, all right. Polish. All right, and we're going to start that. I just think she's beautiful. I love these muted colors on her. And I don't come across that particular style, very often. I think I've only found it one other time. Thank you, Amy. Right, Beth. All right. Thank you, Susan. I appreciate that. We have also had another one of those like little, I guess Misty called them like little peg dolls. And this one is in a little different outfit. We have him. I need to get a booth for some of this stuff because some of it's like really big. Unless you want to come to my house, I'm just saying. If you're in the hood, you could always just. Oh. What is this one? This is maybe I want her. Here we go. Look at her. Look at her. Look at that little side eye. Well, Beth, there's like a 2-year waiting list. I'm like, I need now. So, look how cute she is. I just love that little side eye that she's got. Yeah, isn't she? I've had the little ones, like half her size, and I've had the really big one, but I haven't had this size before. But she's good. She is so good. Have her. Then have a roll. I have several of the penny dolls in here. Oh my goodness. Let me grab my scissors real quick. See, I can move in here. All right. So we have the groom. Look how cute he is. Little penny doll. I have, and I was trying to find like the whole wedding set. There is a wedding set of penny dolls. Y'all ever find that for a good price? You better snag it because they are spency. I saw it priced and I said, yeah, okay. I guess we've given up on that dream. Look at the little itty bitties. Yeah, I'm holding his little sailboat. And her holding her little purse. How cute. The paint is in really good condition. Now, I think I have the bride. But I think there's like the whole wedding party. I know, aren't they? I mean, there's some things that Japan did really well, and then there's some things that I'm like, what were you sipping when you painted that? Maybe they were high on the fumes. Oh my goodness, whoever put this together. See, a lot of this stuff that I came across. I have a 2-story. This is considered a walkout basement. So like the floor to ceiling windows in here, and we never finished the basement, which kind of worked out because then I was able to just put, you know, all my shelving and stuff down here. But I think the basement is 1,000 square foot. So yeah, I did have the bride. So we had the bride and the groom penny dolls. And I think there's a church, if I remember correctly, on them. Which I was just like, that would be amazing to have. And then I have some, yeah, well, no, it's called, I started buying like years and years ago. Ooh, these are German. These are not Japan. With the intent to sell, then the whole big C hit. Then I got in my head, but I had all the inventory. So a lot of what I'm showing you has been down here for years. Hey, how you like that? How you like that? Hey, Heidi. I have these little penny dolls. But these are Germany. Look at that. I didn't even know I had those. I also have two beach ones. Grab those because those need to be in the same locale. So, and I don't know if y'all saw, but back here, that table, that is a Japanese mother with a mother of pearl inlay all in it. That I think I paid under 20 for it, but it's worth like $800 or so. So we're gonna probably put it on Facebook Marketplace. But it's one of those ones that you sit on the floor. It's one that's like, what do you call it? Tea table or something. It's absolutely stunning. Look at these little guys. Look at her little life ring. Have her, and then we have her holding her little life ring. She looks like she's terrified. She doesn't want to go in that water. She's just like, oh my God. I have that whole, I don't know if you saw it, that whole doll. She has like all her parts. She has her arms, her legs, her torso, and all in there. If you're, I don't know if you're interested in her or something like that, but she's like all of that porcelain. Okay, tiny ones. Yeah, I do actually. I do. I have. Let's see if they are in this bin. Don't see them off the top of my head, but they are they're about this big, of those little dolls. Okay, I'll send you a picture of them. I have I know I have two, and I think I may have more of them. Best Light, of course. So I have those. Then some of what I was saying was things that I have that need to probably be in a booth, because shipping is going to be a headache. Yeah, I can do that, Amy. Like this whole set of Libby glasses still in their original box. You know, I really don't want to ship that sort of thing. I can, but I don't want to. Then the artwork, it said we have quite a bit of art that my daughter was saying I need to make an art wall and start hanging some of the pieces up. Look at this old, it's like a mirror, but it's an advertisement of the thermometer. So I have that. I have like the butterflies. Right, Amy? It's in amazing condition. Took this piece out that I got. This is really old. And I did pick it up for myself. So this is a Christmas tree ornament from Germany that hung on the Alderman family's tree in the 1870s until 1970. And it was framed by Harriet Alderman in 72. But look at this. This is an ornament that she framed in this gorgeous gesso frame. And there's all the history of it. I know, right? It's amazing. And I'm so glad that she framed it, because it's paper. It's like super fragile. But I just thought that was stunning. So, and the frame itself is in amazing shape. So, so I had that. I have one thing that Jess is going to help me with is linens. I have linens for days. But when I was preparing for the tea party, I realized I really don't have my linens sorted in a way that I know what I have. So we're going to be sorting like tablecloths, aprons, dish towels, and stuff. And we're going to start doing like more themed kind of baskets or so. But I mean, I have just tons of these tea towels that I'm like, you know, these need to they need to get listed, you know, they need to go. And if I get them organized by, you know, like items, I can go in then and see which sets have missing pieces, because I do have some where I only have 2 or 3 pieces, but yet I think I have the rest of them somewhere. You know what I'm saying? Because I tend to pick them up like when I find them, and then try to put them, you know, together as a set. And these, I don't even think they ever use these, because these had no staining on them whatsoever. Look at that one. So, but mommy, on Sunday, I'm an angel in disguise. But I can't tell you how many different sets that I have. Just right here are these 3 sets, and I have more. Like this one is Sunday's Child is Blythe, Bonnie, Good Day, God, Good and Gay. Look at that. And Friday's Child is Loving Giving. So I have some that I haven't seen. Thursday's Child has Far to Go. Saturday's Child Works for a Living. Well, that should be like Monday through Friday, right? Wednesday's Child is Full of Woe. And then Monday's Child is Fair of Face. Look how cute those are. So, you hear my husband running the disposal upstairs. So we have those. I'm still like working my way through all of these bins behind me to organize. Let's get you lifted up. And then we haven't even started tackling the jewelry wall yet. But I have, like I said, bigger items that I'm not crazy about shipping. And I'm like this TV lamp that I have. And then I have this cool lamp. And then I have a Mr. Christmas teddy bear who has different hats on him and plays at the piano. Google Mr. Christmas. We have this piece. I'm still trying to decide if I want to mess with shipping. That big old owl crawl. Now, the only reason I'm debating is because of the glass. That stresses me out a bit. But so that is kind of what's going on in my basement. The goal, this is pretty much like my working area. So the goal is to get this table like cleared off, get all of these things that are in the boxes here listed, because what I want this to be is more what I am currently working on, what I'm photographing and getting to list, because I don't want it sitting on my packing bench. So yes, ma'am. So my husband mounted my bubble wrap up there. I have my boxes here. I have my light box, my tape, more packing supplies. But this area is what's giving me the anxiety right now. Amy, I love this setup. It is a just basically a like a garage shelf unit. And instead of putting this shelf in here, what I ended up doing is mounting it on the side so I can hang stuff there. And then my husband, instead of the wire being there, got a piece of particle board and I got some of that contact paper that looks like wood, like barnwood, covered it. So it is the best situation I have found. Because, you know, if you want to repurpose it later back for shelving, you can. So it's not like, you know, it's not like a piece of, you know, built wood, so to speak. But yeah, I put industrial shelving down here so that I could organize my inventory. So Jessica wants to get loose with the box cutters and tear down Box Nation. But how I organize my inventory is listed inventory ends up going into labeled tubs so that I can find it easily. And then those industrial shelves, though, will hold the weight of that glass. So, so that's what we're working through. We're trying to, you know, get the plan is to sort through all of this. So this will turn into like an intake area. It will get sorted into bins here. And then as it gets listed, it ends up, you know, on the other shelf unit. So I have kind of put a hiatus to my buying spree because I'm just like, you know, it's we're crazy, you know. This little guy needs to get listed. He's a brass teapot, which you don't find him all together, but it's amazing. It's an amazing set. Yeah, it is fun to buy. It is. Buying is fun. Oh, and speaking of which, Tea Party, I have loaded my show with a Tea Party with a bunch of treasures that I found lurking in the basement. I had to cut myself off because I did not. Beth was like, "You can only have 10 items," and I'm like, "Oh shit!" I'm still on 14. I can put in our cellar supplies. I can put the link to the shelving unit that I bought. I think I got it off of Amazon. You know, and then you could look around for something similar, maybe on, I don't know, Facebook Marketplace or something. I needed something like right away, clearly. And we are thinking about getting 1/2 that size, you know, to put like the ephemera, because I think I can fill one up with just ephemera on it. Yeah, and that's the other reason I have not been buying, because as I'm coming across some of this stuff, I'm like, this is all really good, like Etsy level stuff, and it's not listed. This is costing me money to not have it listed. And we eventually do want to move. And the idea of moving this much inventory is giving me hives. I'm not going to lie. Oh, look what I found in my little stash. It's a butter dish, an amethyst butter dish. So, it's beautiful. So, this butter dish, let's see. This one would probably start at 16, Nikki, if you're interested in that. But it is gorgeous. Okay. Let me get a weight on it real quick. Okay. And it's going to be that's where we're gonna go at 8 by 8. And if the shipping, is too off, of course, I will take care of that. But this is what I'm guessing is going to go in. So, alrighty, we're going to start this. It is beautiful. There's no chips or cracks on it. Look at the little feet. I'm a sucker for these. But, alrighty, thank you very much, Nikki. That is coming to you. I actually found this at Goodwill years ago. Isn't that crazy? We are lucky because our Goodwills don't send things to that shop Goodwill. They are still, very much they're some of them, the way they explained it to me, they're not all affiliated with the bigger Goodwill, like kind of like an independent. It's kind of weird. So, all right. So, Nikki, are you okay with this running like at 5? Is that okay? Okay. All right. We will run that. I just thought this was super cute. I thought about you as soon as I saw it. I was like, that is so neat. So I'll just go in like a jewelry. And that this shipping more than likely will get refunded to you because what 2022, what, Beth, when did I find that? Yes, August 27th of 2022. so you'll have some shipping dollars because this is going to take up much in that box. I do. That's one thing I do is as I thank you, Nikki, as I have was buying stuff to resell with intent, I at least labeled everything, where I got it, when I bought it, and what I paid for it. So as I've been going through, I think what I found 2020, Beth, was the latest I found. And I'm like going, oh, shit. Oh, well, you don't even know. When my daughter was down here helping me, um, I was like stressing. I was really stressing because I was like, I know where everything is. You're stressing me out. Because she was just like, oh, we're going to do da 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 with the linens. We're going to do da 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 da. And then you need to get rid of this. And you need boxes. Do you really need all those boxes? I'm like, yes, I do. Because for those odd size things, can I have my boxes? And she was like, well, I'm cutting them down. I was like, fine. But you name it, it's probably down here. Just saying. I mean, who else has a Japanese what do you call it? Shinazery? Oh, yeah. So give you a close up of that table. Look at this table. Like, it's behind my weight bench, but look how gorgeous all that mother of pearl is on that. So what I do, there are two ways. I'm not an accountant. I'm not giving you tax advice. So there are two ways you can do your inventory. You can do money in, money out, or you can do what do they call it? Like the accrued inventory, where you put where you carry your inventory over year to year. That's a pain in the ass. I'm just going to tell you. That's a pain in the ass. Personally, I do money in, money out. So when I get inventory, I do have a spreadsheet. I track everything. I've kind of on the fence on if I'm going to do with my reseller Jeannie. Kind of on the fence with that. Because the way I look at it is, don't spend a lot of money on subscriptions until you're bringing enough money in to pay for that. I mean, like, I use List Perfectly to cross post to all the platforms that I sell on, which is District, eBay, Mercari, and Etsy. Might be adding Depop, thinking about it. So it makes it much easier for me to just hit one button and shoot it out. Right? My reseller Jeannie is good for taxes, but it does have an inventory system in it as well. So does List Perfectly. But for years, I maintained a spreadsheet where when I bring the item in, say I bring in like this box of little Charming Tales figurines. So look at that. It's a little box. But anyway, so what I do is, first of all, I have one spreadsheet tab that is overall cost. So that was St. Vincent de Paul. I have the date, St. Vincent de Paul, how much I spent overall. And then on another tab of the spreadsheet, I go through and list out everything I bought at St. Vincent de Paul, because I'm very anal. Not everybody does that. It's, kind of what works for you. But the reason I do that is so that later, when I get ready to list the item, I know what I have in it. And then I can decide, well, I've had that forever. I'm going to, let it go. Or, hey, I don't have a lot in it. I can make it an offer. I can, do it as a cheaper price. That's why I like it. So, and in that spreadsheet, before I had List Perfectly, I would put what platform it was on, when it sold, and what it sold for, and then my fees. Because if you don't make enough on a single platform, that, like, this year was the $20,000, they don't send you that 1099K form. So then you're scrambling trying to build a report, because district, for some odd reason, and it's not just district, Etsy does the same thing. You can't run what I would call a tax report. Why? I do not know why they don't have that, because clearly they have that report of my breadsheet. You want my breadsheet? Spreadsheet. Yeah. Yeah. Because I did the same thing for my older daughter when she got started selling on the Bay. Because until you're bringing up enough income, I am an advocate of don't buy the tools, but once you start bringing in enough income, once you start getting like a store subscription. I love bread. Yes, I love bread. My family's into sourdough right now. But you'll end up spending more than you make it. So you have to be strategic about your tools as you're buying them. I do believe for the first at least 3 years, you're basically investing in your business. So, like, I bought a laptop once I had enough funds. I bought the light box. But yeah, the taxes were a pain. And I mean, I honestly got a little aggravated with district, because when I messaged them, they were like, well, you can run these 2 reports and then you'll get a picture of what you're doing. I'm like, oh, why can't you just give me a report? That's, and I ran into the same issue with Etsy. I love selling on Etsy, don't get me wrong, but you have to download a CSV by month. You can't get a year snapshot. And I'm just like, I am a web designer, computer programmer, and that torques me off. Because I'm just like, this is not difficult to do. Yeah, yeah, exactly, exactly. You just want to, the biggest thing is to have your inventory system. And you can do that like in the spreadsheet. Like, I have one is my unlisted, and as I list it, I just paste that line item to the same spreadsheet layout, but I can keep track, of what my inventory is, and I can find it as I'm getting ready to list it. And eventually it's all going to be up and list perfectly. One of the benefits to List Perfectly is, and I'm not a sponsor, I don't get any affiliate things, but if you were to lose your account somewhere, all your pictures, all your description, everything is in List Perfectly. So you could recover it. That's one of the benefits to that. So it's not, your pictures aren't staying on your phone forever or up in your cloud or whatever. But yeah, my biggest piece of advice is your inventory system. Get organized in your storage area. I use, List Perfectly. It's a website, not an app. So it's just listperfectly.com. And you can do it monthly or you can do it year, and then there's different levels that you can do. And I believe Kat, the nurse flipper, has a code, that you can try it out as well. They have listing parties and stuff. I have a lot of stuff. I'm barely scratching the surface of what all List Perfectly can do, but I very much enjoy the fact that I can easily cross post, to multiple platforms. So a lot of my inventory, and everybody's different on this. Some people put their inventory on open shelving. That's fine. I have 2 cats and 2 dogs. I don't allow them in my basement, but there's always that one-off chance. I am like very much when I list something as a buy it now, no matter what platform, I like to have it's in a tote, and it has, they just recently got List Perfectly just recently added the other live selling platform that we will not name. So I'm hoping District will be coming next. So hopefully that will happen. But glass especially gets one layer of small bubble, and then it gets a little sticky note on it. I have the item description, just a brief, like I would have had amethyst butter dish on that one. It's semi pre-packed. So when I put that first layer of bubble, all I have to do when it sells is do my big bubble and then put it in the box with the other packing material. But, as I got going, I would put the weight, the box size, so that I could just reach in my tote, grab the item. I knew exactly what needed to be done. And then the other benefit was if somebody else was packing for me, they could find it. They could pack it, not that I want to let that go, but but that's what works for me, because my fear of putting things on open shelves, waiting till they sell, was if it got knocked over or it got damaged, or it has to be cleaned before you can ship it. I'm like, no, I clean it. I take my pictures. If it doesn't sell in an auction, then it's going in the tote, and then I can stack them. So it doesn't take it. That's the other thing. It doesn't take as much room either. But my biggest piece of advice, if you go with that tote system, exactly, clean once, punch once, everything once, is if you have smalls, I have found the best thing that works for smalls are the under the bed shoebox. Those under the bed totes. Do not do what I did at first. Was all my smalls were in a 35-gallon tote, because you will never find them. Because the one inevitably that sells is on the very bottom. So that was the one thing I did switch. All of like my charming tales, all those kind of things, toothpick holder, whatever, I just put in those under the bed long totes, because they're only about that high, about 2 levels. Yes, the Hagen Renneker's miniatures, I use the egg cartons in there, and that makes it really easy to find everything. The ephemera, I have kind of like a shoebox system that I use for the ephemera. Jewelry, I switched over to, if it hasn't been sorted yet, it's in a shoebox. But once, it gets, why are you that way? Sorry. hold on, you're getting dizzy. But once it gets listed, I went to these bins, and then I just vertically store everything, because what I even found was in a shoebox, you know, it was hard to find things. I mean, you were still like, you know, trying to look through those. So what I do, like on my, when I'm inventorying, I also get these little stickers from Amazon, and on my inventory, they're all, I can find the sticker number and easily list it and find it. And same concept with my ephemera, you know. I've seen people do it a couple of different ways. You either do it by a folder by date, or you do the inventory stickers. So, but yeah, that's what I'm doing. Like I said, we're still down here trying to get things under control. I think my assignment, yes, they do. Because they're the, if you get the silver foil ones, now if you get those like the white, like what I call like garage sale ones, those don't come off as easy. But if you get the silver foil ones, and I think they come in sheets of 1,000, they come off real easy because I've taken them off. So, but that's how I organize my stuff, you know. So my next goal, you know, is to get this work area cleared up. You know, we have things like these copper and brass little, what do you call them? Little cattails. You know, I want that whole table cleared off because I want to have all of the packing bench just specifically for packing. Yes. I have, what I have is, I have a large 3-inch with the masking tape. So I am shifting more to masking tape for the actual package. And then the box has the my go-to tape, and it's a double dispenser. So I have the little regular tape, my 3-inch tape. So, but yeah, because it is easier to get the stuff off, and you don't need such industrial tape. And then I like to also keep some painter's tape available, because what I like to do is tape my glass that is on frames, and then I put I cut a little piece of cardboard, hey Karen, to it, and then this way this doesn't damage the glass or the frame, but it gives it that extra protection in shipping. Because if you only bubble it without some kind of protection, there's a little bit of a risk with, you know, with doing that. And I have not had any of my buyers complain about that. So, you know, I'm like, I'm just going to do what has to be done to get it there safely. And I think, in fact, I had someone comment that they appreciated the care that I took, you know. So that goes a long way, especially, you know, on platforms like Virtual Antique Marketplace or on Etsy, where you have very picky buyers. You know what I mean? They are looking, when they are sourcing antiques, vintage, you know, they want to know the person shipping them is actually taking care of them and not shipping in a Cheez-It box. And yes, I will tell you, that was a true story. I had a little swung vase shipped in a Cheez-It box. I was a little salty. Right. Exactly, Karen. Exactly. I'd rather spend an extra 5 minutes, and which is why I like putting my stuff in the bins um, with that first layer of bubble, because then I know it didn't get damaged in my storage. Because the last thing you want to do is have to message your buyer and say, "Oh, it got damaged. Do you still want it?" But if you have the room, because keep in mind, if you keep it on open storage, it's going to take a lot of room. That's perfectly fine, but just be aware that you're going to have to clean it again, and you're going to have to look it over and make sure it didn't get damaged, because I cringe every time I see some of these sellers reaching in their shelves, and I'm like, oh my God. But I think that's everything. Oh, with the Cheez-It, I was a little salty because they didn't use Cheez-Its for packing material. I only got the box. I might have been a little nicer about it if I'd gotten Cheez-Its. But somehow or another, that vase didn't get broken. I do not know how it didn't get broken. And it was a nice vase. But that's what happens sometimes when you get, I'm not going to say everybody is like this, but when you get people that are, I'm going to say, I find it to be more the storage resellers, like the ones that buy the storage auctions, that aren't as familiar with the breakables. Like, they see t-shirts and Pokemon cards and stuff, they know that, but it is so obvious, when somebody doesn't know how to pack glass. And believe me, I have had some of the same packages. I bought those Viking candle holders as a gift for my daughter. It took me about 3 hours to open the box. People told me, they were like, well, it arrived intact, so why are you complaining? They super glued the box. They super glued all the flaps. I was just like, I could not open. I had to take a box cutter, and it wasn't just the outside box, but it was the inside box. I had a few choice words because all I could think of was, yes, while I appreciated it arrived intact. However, yeah, Beth, they didn't use tape. They super glued the thing. I was livid because all I could think of is, if your buyer had arthritis, they could never get that thing open. And I was like, that was a bit overkill. I mean, okay, maybe you don't have to go get some duct tape. Go get a roll of duct tape at least. Yeah, but I had to cut that box open, which I am not kidding. It was a thick box. It took me about an hour only to get in it to find each candle holder was boxed. So, yes, the goal is for it to get there in one piece, but that was a bit much. That was, I don't think I've ever encountered somebody super gluing their box, because I was just like, how long do you hold the box flaps for that glue to take? And the box was like, it was a giant box. I was cussing. Mike was like, are you still trying to open that box? And I'm like, yes, I have to be careful because it's glass. I know it's all glass in here, but I was not happy. be by the time I got through that box. I think I had to go back and look at my reels because I did a reel on it. I used to have a whole series of how not to pack because it was so bad. And for the love of God, if you ship beads, put them in a little Ziploc bag because that was the latest fiasco. Itty bitty seed bags broken open because the little plastic screw top thing came unscrewed. And there were beads everywhere. Little glass check beads everywhere. Oh my God. If I had not paid so much for those candle holders, I was ready to chuck them. I was livid. But anywho, that is everything I had for y'all. I have to get back to work. I really don't want to, but yeah, I get to go back to the 9 to 5 job. I'd rather do this. This is much more fun. But anyway. Oh, Nikki, you know he's going to do it to you now. So y'all tell me, do you want next week to be paperweights or do you want random? You can kind of do whatever. I have a lot of paperweights. Okay. All righty. We will do random. I'll start sprinkling in the paperweights. How about that? But I know I have several things. I'm still trying to identify who made this. It is so good. It's got that Van Briggle quality, but it's not a Briggle. But I don't know who made it. So still doing research on that. So yeah, I know. Yeah, well, it wouldn't be this weekend. It would be next Wednesday. But honestly, it's going to take a little while to go through them and price them. But as we were organizing, I was coming across so many of them that I was just like, my motto is starting to be, if it's more than a tote, it needs to start getting listed. You know, start doing a sale with them and then start listing them because I am trying to really get in the mindset of like no more than a tote of like linens or we aren't going to talk about the postcards and thousands of postcards, but you know what I'm saying? So yeah, but yeah, I know about that other sale. So anywho, so I will bring us a random assortment. I know I have several like religious items that I came across a beautiful font. I have 2 beautiful fonts. So as well as some Russian religious iconography boxes and stuff. So yeah, so start keeping an eye on next week's sale. Like I said, for the Mother's Day sale, I have loaded it. I got some cute little things. I was having a lot of fun with that. I think the only thing left for me to list is I need to clear off my table upstairs. Is I have this, and the box will not come with it because the box is kind of roached out, to be honest. But it's a lace, a beautiful lace tablecloth. So I need to clear off my farmer table so I can hang it on there, because it's like, how big was this thing? It was a 72 by 90, the chateau pattern. It's gorgeous. But I have a lot of anthropomorphic in the Mother's Day tea party. So because we may not get through everything, I would encourage you to take a look pre-bid so that we can be sure to pull those. I'm also doing a ton of buy it nows, because like I said, I've been making a whole kitchen tub, and I was like, how many sugar and creamers do I have? I still need to get the pigs listed, but anyway, we will catch y'all next week. If you saw anything today, just message me and I can do a private listing for that for you. Alrighty. Yes, I do. Everything's loaded and ready to go, Beth. I'm super. Oh, I have Mother's Day postcards that I'm going to add for the buy it now, and Mother's Day mother of pearl brooches and lockets that I'm also. So those are the only things still to put in the buy it now. All right, guys. Thanks again for joining me. Talk to y'all later. Oh, and I'll probably hold off on shipping until after the. Is that okay, Karen? If I hold off on shipping till we do our Mother's Day sale? Okay, good, because that way we can like combine shipping. All right, talk to y'all later. Bye. Oh, and be sure to follow Felicia. I think is Felicia on yet? Let's see if she's on. Oh, Susan is on. So we're gonna raid over to Susan. Okay.